Okay. So as I mentioned, I'm a holistic health and wellness coach. And what does that really mean? Holistic means kind of looking at your health and wellness as a whole. So if someone comes to me with a particular ailment, I don't just try to fix that ailment. I look at the total picture on what could be influencing the overall health and well-being. So I address three main pillars of wellness, and that's body, mind, and soul. So I incorporate aspects from a variety of different modalities and customize with my clients to optimize their health and well-being. So that's of those three pillars broken down into diet, movement, mindfulness, mindset, self-care, and connection. So ultimately, my main target market is women, but I do work with men as well. So I help busy women, like I said, implement simple lifestyle strategies, because right now it's the biggest challenge is that people don't have enough time. They know they want to improve their health, especially now during COVID, but time is of the essence, and that's what is great about my program. So my goal is to really reach as many people as I can, let them know that living a healthy, vibrant lifestyle is possible. It's possible for everybody. And because we have this belief that anything that is of value requires hard work, and it has to be difficult. And that's absolutely not true. And the same thing applies to health and wellness. So when you're in your flow, things happen with ease. So I'm sure we all know somebody who we see is just in fantastic health and super energetic all the time. And it just looks really easy for them. And you wonder, wow, why can they have that? I really want that. It's because they found their way. They found their flow. And that is what my goal is, to help individuals to find what works for them. So for example, with my business, I really, I was struggling to find what was the best way to work with clients. And when I finally found what works so fantastically well, I kind of felt guilty about it, because I thought, wow, this is too easy and I love it so much. I can't be getting paid for this. But it's the same thing could be applied to health and wellness. So that brings me to kind of what I want to talk about today. And it's in our time here, surviving COVID stress and anxiety. So I'm going to give a few tips, some things that I do work with, use personally and with my clients. It's that 20 that gets you that 80. So depending on where you live, you may have had a different experience. I know some people are already out of, like any restriction in quarantine, but I think in general, we all can agree that we've been through some tough times over the last 6 months due to our lovely friend, Rona. My husband nicknames the coronavirus Rona. So today I'm gonna give you 3 tips that I personally use to kind of bring some sanity. So the first thing I'm gonna talk about is what we put into our bodies. And you may have heard that your gut is your second brain. So what we put into our body not only impacts our physical health, but our mental health as well. So one of the first thing that I want to talk about is alcohol. So the rise in alcohol sales around the world has gone through the roof. Why? Because alcohol does relax us. And if you're home a lot and people are feeling anxious, they just stressed out, and people just start drinking. So I'm not going to stand up here or sit here and tell you to stop drinking alcohol, because that's kind of unrealistic if you are a heavy drinker. So what I am going to suggest is some tips on how you can healthify your cocktails, your alcoholic beverages. So one thing is to try organic wines if you're a wine drinker. Another one, and this is a big thing that is growing right now, is kombucha. If you guys know what kombucha is, it's a probiotic drink that there are some alcoholic versions of it. So you're getting probiotics with the alcohol to kind of balance out the effects that alcohol has on our gut. And the third way, which is my favorite, is to healthify your cocktail. So for example, I recently posted something on my page for a basil smash. So instead of just doing a vodka and soda or a vodka and tonic, what can you do? You can healthify it by infusing some herbs. So I put basil, because basil has a lot of phytonutrients in it, antioxidants in it. So put a ton of herbs in there, put some citrus in there, because that is also alkaline that can help with your gut. And if you're going to sweeten it up, put Manuka honey, put some version, something that's also antibacterial and healthy, so that you're kind of balancing out the effects. So you kind of feel like, okay, if I'm going to have my drink, at least I'm kind of healthifying it a little bit, and it actually tastes good. So that's my thing too, is my tips are not about changing what is to something that doesn't feel in your flow. So this might be something that you might be interested in. So that's one of my little tips for the alcohol. And the second thing is I like to play with balls, my balls. And Karen, stop laughing, because get your mind out of the gutter, all you guys. These are the balls I'm talking about. These are myofascial balls. And these are fantastic for self-massage. So with COVID, there's a lot of sitting happening now. We're not moving as much, and our bodies are becoming really tight. So what these balls do, just a few minutes, strategically placed to do massaging, whether it be on your shoulder, because we're constantly on our computers and hunched over, on your back, on your hips, just even 20, 30 seconds in each of these areas can release tension. And that tension releases tension in your mind. So when you release physical tension, you release the tension in your mind as well. So there's a strong connection between body and mind. It goes both ways. And which leads me to my third one, which is breathing. So breathing exercises, I'm sure you've heard to do some breathing exercises that can help relax you, but truly they're scientifically proven. There's 2 breathing exercises that I like to share, which are scientifically proven to work. Even the US Navy SEALs use these in their tactical training. So the one is called equal breath, and the other one is called unequal breath. Equal breath is when you inhale and exhale at the same pace. And you're taking a big, huge inhale. You're stretching out your lungs because, like I said, when you are stressed, you are in a contraction mode. So when you take a big breath, it really expands and you feel like you're stretching your lungs like a big balloon, you're filling up. And then when you let go of that breath, that release going down because you're tapping into your parasympathetic nervous system. So that in and out, that even breath helps to work on focus. So if your mind is scattered, you can even just do 10 of these breaths at your desk and it will dramatically improve your mental kind of state. And then the other one is unequal breath. And this is more of a relaxing breath. And that's when your exhale is longer than your inhale. So typically the traditional in India way of doing this breath is your exhale is twice as long as your inhale, but that can be challenging. So you never want to put more stress on your body. So I just say, take a nice big inhale so you really fully expand your lungs, and then just try to draw out your exhale as long as you can, like a slow leaky tire. And if you're drawing out your exhale longer, you're tapping into your parasympathetic nervous system, which is at rest and digest and taking you away from that stress mode. So that is a good one for relaxing. So those are the 2 techniques that I like to incorporate too. So those are the 3 things, like just little tips, little things you can do to infuse a little bit of health into what you eat, releasing your body with movement and breathing. So these are some of the things that I use in my courses that I'm doing with one-on-one. So I do one-on-one work and I have an upcoming group program. And these are tried and true. So I've been in health and wellness pretty much my whole life. I was a collegiate athlete. I studied human biodynamics at UC Berkeley. And then for the last 30 plus years, I've just been accumulating so much stuff. I just love to educate myself and learn. And now I've got this container of things and I simplify it and try to share it with as many people as I can, because I really truly believe that everyone deserves to feel great in their bodies. And I feel like I have the things that you can do. It's not an overhaul. You don't have to go on any restrictive diets. It's not about deprivation. It's really about adding in. And like I said, getting into your flow. So if you found this talk interesting, you could head over to my Facebook page where I do usually do lives every week and I post little tips like this. Oh, am I at my time? And so I did put it in the chat, but on the 19th, I'm starting a 5-week program. It's only $288, and I'd love for you guys to join. If you're interested, then just go ahead and DM me. I'll have the link up for to book, but go ahead and message me. And so, okay, sorry, all up. So if anyone's got questions, open to answer.
That's great. Thank you so much, Christina. Something you didn't mention in there, but I'm just going to add in for you, right, is, like she said, you know, these are simple tips, but here's the thing, right? You get Christina to make sure that it happens, right? So you have to do it, but it's always good to have somebody who's either holding your hand or pushing you to do it. And really, that's what stops us from doing any of the simple stuff. is we rely on our family members to keep us on track, and clearly that's not really the way to go. So you get somebody else external to that who truly believes in you and that it can be done, and knows, because she does it, and so therefore she's there to push you along or hold your hand and drag you with it. So that's what you get out of it as well. So thank you, Christina. Does anyone have any questions for Christina? I'm going to start off. How much does it cost? You said 280. It was a course, right? It was something.
Yes.
Yeah.
288 for, it's 288 for the 5-week program. And if you want to add on individual one-on-one coaching at the same time, which is also fantastic, it's 688.
Perfect. Okay, great. Axel.
Axel.
Are you a vegan by any chance, or do you have any thoughts on veganism or plant-based diets?
So I am not of that camp. Even though I'm a yoga teacher and people are surprised, I'm not of that camp. I believe that we're omnivores, and I think it's important. I think it's possible. I think being vegan is possible, but it's very difficult. I've come across so many people that try to go vegetarian and vegan, and they're struggling with their health, and they come to me. And we need to introduce some other things. So I do believe in, healthy meats. So like grass-fed meats and fish, et cetera, that are not farmed, but I'm not personally, I don't practice that.
No worries. I'm an omnivore. It was just
okay. Yeah, I'm not of that camp.
It was just, I was thinking that someone I could refer, like someone I could refer to you, and they like would like they're not. They used to be really strict vegans, but they're not so much anymore. So I was just checking what your thoughts were on there. So when I sell you to, them.
Yeah, I'm open to all, but yeah.
Yeah. So we're starting to panic, like, no, that's just like, what's going on? I was. Thank you. And you know what? In a lot of businesses, I think, does it work out, Christina, that, I mean, if people want to be vegan and they're all of that as well, I mean, really, you can help them work around. Your hacks will also work.
Absolutely.
Helping those who want to help in their own particular way, because you can't, like you said, it's not about changing someone's entire lifestyle. It's about bringing, just what are some simple things that you can do on an everyday basis. I've been reading The Richest Man in Babylon, and he says about putting 10% of all you earn away. He said, I like my leisure time, so I'm careful not to start anything that requires a huge amount of work and change. He said, so you have to start with very little things and turn that into a habit and just increase on those little things. It's not starting with a big grand plan. Just change.